And I will be moderating this press conference. Welcome and thank you for joining us following the bilateral meeting between Minister for Foreign Affairs of Finland, Elina Valtonen, and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Greece, Giorgos Gerapetritis. We are honored to have both ministers present to share their reflections. I now invite Minister Valtonen to begin with her remarks.
I am so delighted to welcome my dear colleague, Minister Gerapetritis, to Helsinki, and we've indeed had very thorough and timely discussions on both our bilateral ties, which are friendly and strong, and I would say deeper than they've ever been. And at the same time, of course, the situation not just on European security, but also what is happening in the Middle East, which probably is also in everybody's minds at this moment. So let me start with our excellent relations. Actually, in Finland, we have been following with envy the recent fantastic development of the Greek economy in the past years, and also many Finnish companies have invested in Greece. We have a lot of cooperation in innovation and technology, and of course, only the sky's the limit on this front. And even though we are geographically distant, we actually share so many thoughts and policies in common that I wouldn't want to waste actually too much time today on those. But one to mention is that we are both external border states of the European Union, and therefore we do experience very similar conditions, both what comes to for instance, migration issues, but very much also what comes to the use of the shadow fleet. And in this regard, we commend very much the work by the Greek government on setting limits to the functioning of the shadow fleet, because of course here in the Baltic Sea, the shadow fleet not only poses a security threat and aids Russia with their war machine, but at the same time it poses a massive risk on the environment and also on critical infrastructure, like we have experienced unfortunately over the course of the past months. Now, on European security, we discussed Russia's war of aggression, and unfortunately we don't see a quick end to this. It is important that we continue on the track we have chosen on the three pillars. First and foremost, we aid Ukraine. Second, we put an end or at least try to make it more difficult to Russia to build its war machine. And third, build on our defense and deterrence. And also in this, of course, Greece is doing and pulling very much its own weight, and even more also as a strong member in NATO in defense spending. So very much commending that as well. Now, what comes to the Middle East, I must say, as I woke up this morning, I was very glad to see the news on the progress on the peace negotiations between Israel and Hamas. Now, of course, it is very important that this first stage is really carried out. At this stage, we are waiting for the actual deal to be finally signed and then approved by the Israeli government. And after that, within the time limit, there should be an end to the hostilities, there should be a release of the hostages, and there should be enough humanitarian aid coming to the people, which is very much our priority. And let's hope that a successful finalization of phase one could lead to phase two and credible, lasting steps towards the two-state solution and negotiations to this end. And finally, we Finns love Greece as a holiday destination, not only as a holiday destination, but due to time constraints, I'm not going into detail. We would be happy to welcome even more Greeks to Finland, maybe to search for some cooler air, but also to find the recipe for why we are the happiest country in the world. We also had a chance to discuss that. thank you anyway so much for coming over, dear George, and your entire team. And my team has written here, even though my Greek is actually very good, but Efkaristo.
Very good. Excellent.
Okay, kiitos, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Valtonen. Minister Gerapetritis, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure and honor to be today in Helsinki with my esteemed counterpart, Minister Elina Valtonen. Dear Elina, I would like first of all to express my deep gratitude for the warm hospitality extended to me and my delegation. Elina has been always a very valuable colleague. Your professionalism, your strong personality, and your structured way of thinking has been an inspiration for many of us at the Foreign Affairs Council. I'm visiting Finland during a period of significant volatility in the surrounding region. It has not been like this over the last decades, but the truth is that in the last 4 years, the foreign policy agenda has been dominated by various crises and conflicts. And I seize this opportunity to commend the OSCE Finnish presidency and Elina's efforts to ensure that the organization remains the key forum for addressing security issues and challenges, especially hybrid threats in our region. Your stamina has been highly estimated. From the outset of the war in Ukraine, we have strongly condemned Russia's illegal invasion and firmly supported Ukraine in the support of her territorial integrity and sovereignty as a staunch supporter of international law and the UN Charter of Greece has consistently backed all efforts to put an end to this aggression in Ukraine, and we call for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire that would clearly support and safeguard the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine. Greece, as a maritime nation, we place particular emphasis on maritime security. We clearly condemn the existence of a shadow fleet, which is a clear violation of international law, and we will do all efforts in order to combat this illegal phenomenon. As two countries of the European South and of the European North, respectively, Greece and Finland are meeting today to seek a better understanding of security challenges. The external borders is something that joins us, and I think this makes us all very conscious of the contemporary challenges. In this context, I would like to underline, first of all, that border protection is absolutely essential and meaningful. This is an integral part of European strategies. And we emphasize the importance of fair burden sharing, of solidarity, and the importance of preventing any sort of instrumentalization of migratory flows. Secondly, the EU partners are united in our pursuit of stronger, more resilient and strategically autonomous European Union, and that means a strong European defense system with increased capabilities, and we're working very hard in these respects. And at the same time, as NATO allies, following the historic decision of Finland to join NATO, for which we're very honored to have provided our unconditional support, we are committed to strengthening the transatlantic relationship. We also discussed about EU enlargement. We consider that this should be at the top of the agenda for us. It's an existential issue that we provide vision for the nations which are in the process of pre-accession towards the European family. It is important for everyone to allow for the vision of further European integration. Regarding our bilateral relations, we agreed to further expand our cooperations in the fields of tourism, trade, energy, and foster further cooperation in other fields such as startups. My dearest friend Elina just refrained from giving me the recipe for happiness. So this is something that we need to discuss in Athens in her next visit, hopefully soon. And of course, enhancing cooperation would mean to actually mutually support candidacies. We are privileged now to Greece to be part of the Security Council, elected member of the Security Council for the term 2025-2026. And we are strong supporters of the Finnish candidacy for 2029-2030. I hope that Finland will serve at less turbulent times than Greece. President Stubb, in his recent inspiring speech at the UN General Assembly, we were all there, poignantly remarked that war is always a failure of humanity. And I think this is a very strong statement for all of us, because this reflects to our failure as well. In our meeting today, we reiterated our commitment to jointly work in order to strengthen the United Nations, to ensure that the fundamental role as peacemaker is preserved for the benefit of the future generations. I conclude my visit with a renewed determination for our deep relationship, my deep respect for Finland and for the foreign minister, and thank you so much. We shall work together for a more strategic Europe in the future. Thank you.
Efaristo, Minister Gerapetritis. We can now take the questions. MTV.
Antuuni Meri, MTV News. I would like to ask Elina Valtonen in Finnish about the situation in Gaza. Eli miten luottavainen nyt olette siihen, että osapuolet oikeasti sitoutuvat tähän sopimukseen ja että siellä voidaan edetä askel askeleelta kohti ehkä jossain vaiheessa jopa 2 valtion mallia, ja kuinka todennäköisenä pidätte tätä?
No pakkohan tässä olla luottavainen, että tietenkin tilanne on ollut synkkä ja jopa synkistyvä ihan näihin viikkoihin ja päiviin saakka, erityisesti ihmisten kannalta, mutta myös sen poliittisen vision kannalta, että alueelle toden totta saataisiin se 2 valtion malli. Mutta nyt joka ikinen ikään kuin tällainen neuvottelutulos, ja nyt kun meillä semmoinen todella pöydällä on molempien osapuolten kesken, niin on tietysti kansainvälisesti ottaen niin kuin erittäin tervetullut, ja toivotaan, että se menee maaliin. Mutta valitettavasti on toki nähty, että on ollut useinkin sopimuksia ja neuvottelutuloksia, välttämättä se implementaatio ei ole ihan kaikissa onnistunut, mutta nyt toivotaan, että näin on. Ja se, mikä erottaa tämän nyt tilanteen esimerkiksi puolen vuoden takaisesta, kun myös saavutettiin tulitauko joiksikin viikoiksi, mutta ikään kuin siihen kakkosvaiheeseen ei ikinä edetty, eli siihen vaiheeseen, jossa olisi silloin vapautettu loputkin panttivangit ja vastaavasti Israel olisi vetäytynyt alueelta, oltaisiin voitu siirtyä kolmanteen vaiheeseen eli neuvotteluihin, niin tässä on nyt se, että nyt koko maailma on aidosti niin kuin enemmän tai vähemmän tämän tuloksen takana, ja erityisesti tuossa New Yorkin korkean tason viikosta asti, niin tätä on yhdessä rakennettu.
I fully agree.
Waili, please.
Yle Finnish Broadcasting Company, Tuuli Kukkainen friend. Question for both, but to start with in Finnish, I apologize. Tosiaan olette hyvin informoitu ihminen tässä maassa. Mitä tietoja on siitä, että Israelin hallitus, joka tiettävästi kokoontuu tänään, voisi olla hyväksymässä tätä? Ja sitten, eli tarkennuksena äskeiseen. Ja sitten, mikä näet, että Yhdysvaltain presidentillä Donald Trumpilla on ollut tässä roolina painostamassa Israelia? Onko hänellä mahdollisesti ollut tässä rooli? Kysynkö mä tämän nyt heti myös englanniksi vai?
Mä voin vastata tänne ensin, mä muistan sen. Yhdysvaltain rooli tässä on ollut tietysti keskeinen, eli vaikka tätä varsinaista ikään kuin rauhan runkoa on neuvoteltu pidemmän aikaa, ja siinä on myös arabimaat olleet niin kuin hyvin keskeisessä roolissa. Tuolla New Yorkin korkean tason viikolla tätä ikään kuin harukoitiin enemmänkin kasaan, ja silloin oli positiivista jo se, että nähtiin, että Yhdysvallat suhtautuu siihen myönteisesti ja on jopa valmis ottamaan suunnitelmaa niin kuin nimiinsä ja sitten edistämään asiaa yhdessä Israelin kanssa. Niin siinä oli niin kuin nähtävissä jo se, että se, mikä tavallaan nyt on ollut puuttunut näistä aikaisemmista yrityksistä kansainvälisen yhteisön toimesta viime kuukausina, on ollut se, että esimerkiksi jos katsoo heinäkuun tätä korkean tason kokousta tai kahden valtion mallin kokousta, jossa päädyttiin sitten julkilausumaan, joka oli erinomainen ensiaskel, niin siinähän ei Israel ja Yhdysvallat ollut mukana. Ja se silti oli tarkoitus, tai oli hyväkin, että se tehtiin sen takia, että haettiin jo semmoista ikään kuin molempien osapuolten periaatteessa hyväksyttävissä olevaa ratkaisua. No nyt on päästy tähän tilanteeseen, mutta kyllä tämä niin kuin on selkeästi ollut ratkaiseva tämä Yhdysvaltain rooli tässä kysymyksessä. Toisaalta saamaan Israelin mukaan neuvottelupöytään, mutta tuomaan myös muun laajemman uskottavuuden toki myös alueen arabimaille. Ja sitten mitä tulee Israelin hallituksen toimiin ja hyväksyntään, no ei se mikään läpihuutojuttu tule olemaan, mutta sen kyllä sanon, että jos tämä ei mene Israelin hallituksesta läpi, niin onko siellä ensinkään halua lopettaa tätä sotaa?
And more or less the same question also for you. What do you see is USA's president's role in pressurizing the parties to the ceasefire? And a mutual question, do you see this is a game changer for Donald Trump? Nobel Peace Prize possibilities?
You start.
Why me? The truth is that we have some meaningful and tangible results from President Trump's mediation. The draft plan has been successful, at least on the first phase, and we're looking forward to the implementation of the first phase. We just take it as a first step when it comes to the ceasefire and to the release of hostages, which was long overdue. This is actually a major success, and this is why we have to comment on President Trump's mediation. We hope that this mediation will be equally successful when it comes to Russia's aggression of Ukraine. We think that this war should immediately stop, and we are hopeful that in the near future we will be able to just mark some success. As for the Nobel Prize, I think probably you should ask Elina, who is much closer to the seat of the Nobel Institute.
I wouldn't possibly interfere with Swedish-Norwegian internal affairs, but of course it's highly appreciated, and I agreed with George completely that this effort is massively appreciated, and also now that there's a deal, something credible, something to be signed, we are a very long leap ahead. But everything depends on the implementation, and let's hope for the best.
Do we have more questions? I don't see any, and we will therefore conclude this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much. Thank you.